7.2. Use the worksheets to work together on page 152. Your instructor, that's me, will guide you through the following examples. Analyze the following adjustment information into debit and credit parts. Record the adjustments on the worksheets. All right, here's the information. You have supplies on hand is now $325. All right, your supplies were $456. Your supplies are now $325. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how much those supplies decreased because we used some supplies. So how do we figure out if you have how much you start with and you have how much you end with? How do you figure out how much there was? You subtract. That's correct. So we subtract 456 minus 325 and get 131. So this was 456 debit, so that means we have to credit 131. We're going to put the letter A in here so that way we can differentiate which adjustments were made. Now, we have income statement and balance sheet here. These two are the final balances. We have trial balance, then we make some adjustments, and then in the income statement and balance sheet, that's our final balances after the fiscal period ends. So we have our new balance, and supplies goes in the balance sheet because it's not an income or an expense, so it doesn't go on the income statement. So supplies goes in the balance sheet, and the new balance we said was $325. Prepaid insurance is now valued at $500. Previously, it was valued at $750. Oops, I put that on the wrong line, didn't I? It should be A, 131, 325. Let's see. So that's wrong and that's wrong. All right. All right. So the balance at the end of prepaid insurance is $500. So what would the difference be? 250, so we're going to put a B here, and that's 250 credit. Now, do you understand how I got that? Maybe. Now, the rule of accounting is if I credit something, I have to debit something else, right? Because your debits equal your credits. So remember these two things that we didn't know what to do? So we debited or credit supplies. That means we have to credit something or debit something. So we credited supplies, so we're going to debit supplies expense. So that's A, 131. We credited prepaid insurance, so now we're going to debit insurance expense. So these two are credited, so we're going to debit those same things. Now, that's it. Now we're going to total and rule. That happens to be 381. And this is 381. Those are the same, so we double rule.
What's your B?
B is 131. Oh, 250. 250, 250, 131, 131.
Oh.
Now, okay, so those are our adjustments. We used a little supplies and we used some insurance. Okay, over the course of the month, we use $250 worth of insurance. Over the course of a month, we use $131 of supplies. And now, this is our new balance for the next month. So this balance sheet balance for month ended February 28th will be the trial balance for month began on March 1st. So that'll be the trial balance in March. So now we're going to take all of these and transfer them over. So 980 cash. Does cash an income statement or a balance sheet? Here's how you can tell. An income statement has income or expenses. Is cash income or expenses? Say no. No. So it's a balance sheet. So 9,800. Petty cash. Balance sheet or income statement?
Same as cash.
It's the same as cash. Yep. 150. It's an asset, right? Accounts receivable. Income statement or balance sheet? Balance sheet. Okay. These two we already put in there. Accounts payable. Balance sheet? Yep.
You wouldn't credit it? You would credit it?
Oh, yep, you would credit it. You're right. Okay. Capital. Is that an income or an expense?
Aren't they giving money?
They do, but it's an owner's equity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that goes in their balance sheet. So 14,885. I'm making this much harder than it needs to be. I'm going to show you something here in a second. Drawing. Say 3,400. All right.
Nothing's in the income.
All right, so we're going to leave that blank. That's a magical account that makes things disappear. We'll get to that in a few weeks. All right, so now sales. Well, sales, that's where our income's from. So 4320.
Oh, what you doing over here?
And then advertising expenses 931.
How come you went in the income then?
Because those are income. Here's the trick. Everything above income summary goes in the balance sheet. Everything below income summary goes in the income statement. Does that make things a little easier? Yeah. So 250, 378, 131, and 1100. All right. Now the tricky part. We're going to add all this up. Brenda, would you like to add the income statement credit column?
How do you have amount of some of them in the debit?
Just the income statement, just the credit side.
Credit side for the income?
Yeah. Oh, okay. 4.
3,820.
All right. The debit side happens to be 2790. And then the balance sheet debit side is 16,970. That's all of these added up. And this one is 1540. $15,440. Now, do those equal? Oh, they don't. All right. Well, that means something happened. We had a income or a loss. What would you say we had here? An income or a loss? Did we make money or did we lose money? We lost money. Let me show you something. See this here? Right here, these are all your expenses, right? So your income debit column is your expenses. Your income credit column is your income. So when your income is bigger than your expenses, did you make money or lose money? You made money. So this would be a net income. If your expenses are bigger than your income, this would be a net loss. Make sense? All right. How much money did we make? How would we find how much money we made?
You just do the 4,320.
4320 minus 2790 gives you 1530. So if we go 1530 here, we have, add that together, we should have 4320. And this is 4320. Now, so we debited 1530, right? And anytime we debit something, we have to, we credited here, so we debited there, we debited here, so now we have to credit. Well, let's credit the balance sheet side, right? Because 16,970 is bigger than 15,440. So we put 1530 here. The same number goes there and there. We add that up, and that gives us 16,970. Well, what do you know? That happens to be the same as the balance sheet debit column. So that those two are the same. Double rule. These two are the same. Double rule. You've just completed the worksheet.